Hi everyone, this is Daryl and welcome back to Hypeword. Today I'm going to be looking at 5 science fiction and fantasy books that are perfect for escapism right now, when many of us are kind of feeling like we're a little confined and maybe we want to be in a world that isn't, well, you know, this one. So science fiction and fantasy books are pretty much all about the escapism, but for me, I escape into books best when there is multi-layered and immersive world building and when there are characters that are fully realised and that I care about. So let's just get straight into it. The first book on my list that I think you should get lost in is The World of Saga. Saga is an epic space opera / fantasy graphic novel series written by Brian K. Vaughan and illustrated by Fiona Staples. The series follows husband and wife, Alana and Marco, hailing from opposing sides of long-warring alien races, as they struggle to care for their newborn daughter, Hazel. Hazel is seen as an abomination by both races, and as a result they are hunted by authorities from both sides of the war, which has been fought for so long that it has embroiled most of the galaxy in the violence. The story is immersive and evocative, and the diverse and imaginative characters pull you in through the story with their all too, for lack of a better word, human flaws and desires. The series has also been noted for its diverse portrayal of ethnicity, sexual orientation and gender social roles, and for its treatment of the topic of war. I recently finished volume 6 in this 9-volume story, and let me tell you, it is bingeable. But I'm trying to pace myself because I'm enjoying it so much, as well as the imaginative characters and the humour, which I would call Whedon-esque, keeping me hooked to this story. I often turn a page to some artistically drawn obscenity that has me laughing through the rest of the novel. Some pages are definitely not safe to casually read while you're sitting at your desk on your lunch break, unless you want your colleagues to see something like a giant ball sack. So the next world perfect for escapism that you might want to dive into is Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series. The first in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, The Eye of the World, and the series itself is classic, unapologetic high fantasy, complete with Tolkien-esque tropes and intricate world building, making it a realm you can really get lost in and explore. The Eye of the World follows the characters Rand, Mat, Perrin, Egwene and Nynaeve after their home village is attacked by Trollocs, which are orc-type creatures, and Midrell, the undead-like officer commanding the Trollocs, intent on capturing Rand, Mat and Perrin. To save their village from further attacks, they flee the village with the Aes Sedai Moraine, who is essentially a sorceress that can wield the One Power, her warder Lan, and Gleeman Tom Merrin. Pursued by increasing numbers of Trollocs and Midrell, the travellers set out to discover why the Trollocs are after them, leading them further into the grips of danger and adventure. The world building in The Wheel of Time is immense and pulled me in from the beginning. If you like classic fantasy such as Lord of the Rings, then you may recognise a few of the tropes used in The Eye of the World. However, Jordan takes this to a whole other level. I recently finished the second in this mammoth 14-book series, and while I can say I really enjoyed the first book, I can say that I loved the second, mostly because of how Jordan expands the world he has created, adding layers and detail to every aspect. I also loved the second book because it's in The Great Hunt that I really fell in love with the characters. The Wheel of Time series is going to provide me with years of ready escapism. So the third book I have on my list is the sci-fi classic by Frank Herbert, Dune. Dune is set in the distant future amidst a feudal interstellar society in which noble houses in control of individual planets owe allegiance to the Padishah Emperor. Dune tells the story of young Paul Atreides, whose noble family accepts the stewardship of the desert planet Arrakis, home to the only source of the spice melange, the most important and valuable substance in the universe. Because of this, control of Arrakis is a coveted and dangerous undertaking. The story explores the multi-layered interactions of politics, religion, ecology, technology, and human emotion as the factions of the Empire confront each other in a struggle for the control of Arrakis and its spice. The concepts in Dune are expansive and plunge you immediately into a narrative filled with political intrigue, immersive mythology and danger. The world building in Dune is something rarely seen to this degree in science fiction, usually this detailed mostly in fantasy. One of these detailed concepts is the Bene Gesserit, which are a key social, religious and political sisterhood whose members train their bodies and minds through years of physical and mental conditioning to obtain extraordinary powers and abilities that seem magical to those who don't know its secrets. Frank Herbert went on to write 5 more Dune novels, and after his death, his son Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson went on to continue the series with 14 more Dune novels. So the next world I have for you guys is the world of Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. His Dark Materials is the epic fantasy trilogy written by Philip Pullman, which is set in an alternate universe where all people have demons, physical representations of their souls or spirits, which take the form of animals. When a person dies, the demon dies too. The trilogy takes place across a multiverse, moving between many parallel worlds. The Northern Lights, the first in the trilogy, is a story that takes place in a world with major similarities to our own, and follows an orphan girl called Lyra, who journeys to the Arctic in search of her missing friend Roger and her imprisoned uncle Lord Asriel, who has been conducting experiments with a mysterious substance known as dust. The series is reportedly a retelling of Milton's 17th century poem Paradise Lost, which tells the story of Adam and Eve and of Satan's banishment from heaven. The entire trilogy is a comment on Christian theology, but what really drew me into the series was the imaginative multiverse setting, the concept of demons, and the fact that Lyra comes from a world so similar to our own, yet so different too. Sick of this universe? Why not travel through a handful of different ones? Following the original trilogy, Pullman has gone on to write a number of standalone novels within this universe, including 2 in a new trilogy called The Book of Dust, which follows Lyra's journey as an adult. So the last on my list of worlds to escape into is the graphic novel Monstrous. Written by Marjorie Liu and drawn by Sana Takeda, the series is set in a matriarchal world inspired by early 20th century Asia. It tells the story of Maker Halfwolf, a teenage girl who shares a mysterious psychic link with a powerful monster. The background to the story is a war between the Arcanics, magical creatures who sometimes can pass for human, and the Kamea, an order of sorceresses who consume Arcanics to fuel their power. Maker is an Arcanic who looks human, and who is set on learning about and avenging her mother's death. Maker's left arm has been severed, and a demon occasionally emerges from the stub. The demon, who takes over her body and mind, is a source of great power, but challenging for Maker to understand and control. This is a beautifully written and illustrated story that's engaging, immersive, and often heartbreaking. It's truly unique to anything I've read before, and I've often just found myself studying fantastic and intricate artwork which flows on each page. The story is grand, and the characters are complicated and relatable. It feels to me very much like it teeters on the edge of mythology in its grandeur, which, as someone who loves all things mythological, appealed to me from the outset. So that's it for my list of worlds to escape into. I hope you enjoyed the video and you can find something in there that you'll love. Please like, subscribe and comment in all of the usual ways. If you're new to my channel, we talk about all things sci-fi, fantasy and sometimes horror here, so if that's your thing, please stick around. I hope you guys are all staying safe, and until next time, happy reading.